guys, welcome to Great Learning. My name is Anirudh Rao, and we have a very special guest for you today. His name is Ved Jagadish. He is a very proficient expert when it comes to the world of digital marketing. We're going to have a conversation now to talk about the entire world of digital marketing. He has a lot to offer for all of you all. So, without further ado, let's welcome Ved to our session. Welcome to you, Ved. I hope you're having a nice day.
Yeah, Nira, thanks for having me. Yes, the day is going good so far. I look forward to getting into the discussion.
All right, perfect. So, without further ado, I was doing a little bit of background research about your company. You seem to be a fantastic guy. You seem to be, the co-founder of your own company. You seem to be a big guy when it comes to the world of digital marketing. Nav, I read a fantastic thing. It's that you were looking towards becoming a chartered accountant, and I realized that you might have put in a good amount of time and effort for that. But then eventually you made the switch to the world of digital marketing. So it's a fantastic thing when you take a look at it. But I was just very curious to understand your flow of thoughts over the years, which made you want to move from the world of chartered accountancy to the world of digital marketing.
Yes, so yeah, my origin story, so to say, is quite an interesting one. So I'll just go a little bit before I went into CA. So right from college, me and my friends, we started this event promotion company. So the idea or the fascination there was just that, okay, we were in college, we were not so much attending classes. And you had time to kill, right? So we were like, okay, let's do this because it's fun. We get to meet people and just have fun. So that was the whole goal. There was no like a motive to make it like the number one company or anything, right? So it was just a college, so to say, project, but we made it a company. And so started on promoting events across colleges and everything. So soon to realize, it's not a full-fledged company. There's no capital, there's no investment or anything, right? So literally it's our pocket money. And to host an event or host a party, pocket money did not take us to that extent. So that was when I, so to say, stumbled upon digital marketing. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what I was doing. So simple things like, say, getting to understand a little more, of course, in school, there was a little bit of formal training in terms of, designing and everything, but not so into it that we start doing something for the real world. But back here again, there was a need that, okay, we had to say print passes for the events, get such things designed, flyers to put it across social media, put it on WhatsApp groups, and all of that. So that's how I was like, with YouTube, started to learn a little bit around design and everything, just to get the message across that, hey, we have an event, come through. And Facebook groups were then, so to say, on an explosion sort of phase, where each college, the classes in each of the college, each sections and everything, all of them had a college Facebook group. So what I used to do was I used to go into each and every college groups, add myself there, start promoting the events and everything. So if you see, it was sort of like a notch in, okay, this is, so to say, you can say in my entire timeline that this is when, so the digital marketing interest sort of peaked. So with all of this, fast forward like a few months later, I was appalled that with literally spending 0 rupees, I was actually able to get like 50 people, 60, 70 people coming to a party or an event. And I literally, okay, maybe I would have spent money printing passes at like the print shop, maybe 200, 300 rupees. But apart from that, marketing cost was zero. And
Yeah,
that
that's
sort of just stuck in my head that, okay, this is an interesting thing. But still, I didn't know it was called Facebook marketing, social media marketing, digital marketing, but that was just that. And then graduation, I had to pick a career path. So my circle sort of leaned towards chartered accountancy, and hence I also picked it up. But I crossed the first level. Second level is where I got stuck multiple times, and that's when I realized that was definitely not for me. And then is when, again, looking back, I was like, hey, I always was good, like talking to people. I'm interested, like meet new people, understand the stories and everything. And that's when the digital marketing sort of boom also started picking up in India, where you had like two major online institutions. There were a lot of few offline ones as well. And that's how I went on to one of the online training classes and session, and then that's how it started.
Oh, that's such a fascinating story to hear from you. Where that it seems like you've had a lot of experience even before you looked into the world of digital marketing itself. Now, a common question which I think I share with all the viewers who are here, watching this particular video is, why do you think digital marketing is important in today's world? I mean, we see digital marketing everywhere around us. Literally, digital marketing is considered to be a domain which is a stone's throw away. So if you throw a stone, it's going to land on a digital marketing poster in the online virtual world. So why did digital marketing become so big, and why is digital marketing so relevant in this particular decade for us?
I think to put that into better perspective, right now we're at an era where you throw a stone, it either lands in a digital marketing agency or a digital marketing training institute. So
Mhm.
that's sort of the landscape we are in. So the simple and the most common answer you would hear is everything is digital, everything is online. But the actual fact of the matter is digital is data. And what I mean by that is literally because everything is so well connected, there is a lot of data that gets accumulated that we marketers, we advertisers get access to. Of course, not like very much of personal data, though there are a few outliers to that too. But on the whole, it's powerful because of the data that there is access to and because of a more logical use of that data. Say, for example, if I were to sell a pen, right? So I wouldn't just go around selling a pen to anyone and everyone. I want to understand where is the demand there, break it down into target segments, break it down to be basically age groups. I see, okay, students would require pens, break it down into a few, say, colleges, few schools, and start selling pens directly to them instead of looking at, okay, I target 10,000 people, and maybe in that 10,000, I would at least sell 100 pens versus I immediately target the 100 people who would be my target audience. And that's the main reason it's grown so big worldwide, actually.
So those are some really good points. I would want to definitely pick your head more about taking a look at the world of digital marketing and its current relevance in 2021. Now we've sort of in the middle of a pandemic. I think it is on a it is ending right now. There's a vaccine. There's lots of vaccines, but the entire world of digital marketing itself, I heard that it went through a bit of turmoil when it came to the COVID-19 pandemic. There was a lot of companies who wanted to start up, but due to the ongoing situation, they couldn't. So they had to cut down on their marketing expenses and all of that. So, what do you think is the relevancy of digital marketing in today's world, in 2021 especially, and how important is it for individual contributors and small
So,
companies?
Anurag, we can break that down into, say, a two-part question, right? Say, how was digital before the pandemic and how is it after? So, before the pandemic, the Indian ecosystem itself was uh, getting that momentum. I would still, even post-pandemic, I would say India's knowledge of what digital is, digital advertising, digital marketing is still at a very nascent stage. But even before it, it was gaining traction, of course. And of course, the whole fascination, in fact, with the personal experience that I shared with you, also sort of propel that further. That anyone, be it you want to start a career, you want to start side hustle on your own, you want to start a company, right? Digital marketing is something that can take you to at least from 0 to 10, 0 to 15 without much of a spend, right? Say, for example, again, say if I make handcrafted notebooks or anything, right? I can open an Instagram page, organically start growing that. All I need is my smartphone. I don't need to invest anything. So that was the stage that digital marketing was, where even for us, being an agency, we did see a lot of clients. So we work both with B2B, B2C in both industries. So we saw a mix of startups and enterprises also, where there were a lot of different startups that we got to work with, and that gave us a very new understanding of the industry, and that, oh wow, digital can actually aid such and such industry, which we would have never thought. So, with that being said, now with the onset of pandemic, of course, physical offices, physical workplaces, anything that involved a lot of physical push sort of ceased, right? So that's where everything had to be online or on WhatsApp calls, video calls, or this is referring to the businesses which were hardcore offline, right? Where you had a brick and mortar shop or factories and things like that, where literally it was physical intensive. That had to cease because there's import, export, stoppage, everything that was happening. So the businesses that were still like half digital, half physical, it was interesting for us to see how they adopted, because our own clients were also belonging to that particular category. So to see how they were sort of like, they started to create groups on Zoom, Gmeet, and in fact, few of our clients reached out just like on a very offhand, general note that, hey, how do you, so on Zoom, how do you do the recording part, or how can I share a screen and everything, right? Because we enforced it on them to join the calls, but they're actually taking this away as a learning and using that in their own organizations. And post pandemic, of course, so now things have started opening up. And still, what we saw was that the brands that we were working with, we've continued to service them. And in fact, we've brought together really good results through the pandemic. One reason being, so us as an agency, we focus both on, of course, you have your paid ads part and the organic part. But our core philosophy is of value add. And what we believe in is that it shouldn't be proportional, that to get 50% growth, you don't have to spend 50% more. There needs to be a point where your organic also starts to perform and sort of exceed your paid, so that maybe you can reduce the ad spends. And the pandemic proved to be a very good case study for us, where one of the healthcare brands that we were working with, they had to seize their ad budget, because of course hospitals and everything was the most scariest place to be in April, May, June. And these guys did not want to go ahead and do any promotions, but still organically we were able to get them results which were 55% of their overall results. So that is the power of digital. And post pandemic, now a lot of people have realized that, okay, I have to have some form of digital. If I'm selling, I mean, if I'm selling pipes, if I'm selling bread, if I'm selling anything, right? So I need to have some form of digital presence, is the, so to say, vibe of the market right now.
All right, those are so many interesting things and numbers that you just brought out. It's such a fascinating thing. Now, an important thing our dear viewers here at Great Learning, I'm sure, are curious to understand is having digital marketing as a career for themselves. Now, when you try to talk about digital marketing as a domain, when you try to talk about how amazingly huge it is, how well spread out it is, if you have to give our viewers, an advice to talk about digital marketing as their career, how would you want to go ahead with that?
So the field of digital marketing, or even a broader field of, say, marketing, advertising, is unique in a way where, you don't have like your core technical educational background or anything, right? You have engineers, you have people like me who tried chartered accountancy, did not work, who are working here. So you have people from different professions, different perspectives, finding a home in the industry of marketing, advertising. Digital advertising or digital marketing is a segment of that. So that's why there's a lot. So why I say that is to say that there's a lot of need. I mean, there's a lot of niche. There's a lot of interesting spaces you can find for yourself, because digital has, at a broad level, you have social media, you have search, you have content creation, you have email, you have design. So you have anything and everything, which is like bits and pieces of other industries put together, right? And you can find your niche. Say if you're a statistician, if you're really good with numbers, the digital analytics side of things is something that would definitely entice you. That would be something that would interest you. If you have a creative flair, social media is the place. You can start writing blogs, you can start writing content. So that being said, I think it comes down to you identifying what you're good at. And it's safe to say that digital marketing definitely has a space for that.
That definitely was a fantastic explanation to that way. It just feels amazing to get to know an expert's view on the same as well. Now, when we're talking about maybe switching to a career in digital marketing from another role? Let's say maybe someone with 0, 1 or 2 years of experience. Maybe they're coming in from a technical side of role. Maybe they're coming in from a very different background, such as chartered accountancy. How difficult is it to get started with the domain itself?
That's a good question, actually. I think the main question for everyone is, where do I start or how do I start, right? So, one, of course, as I said, one is understanding yourself, where or what interests you, what soft skill do you have, what from digital marketing can complement that. The other thing would be, once that clarity is there, right? So, don't jump into complete internship or anything. First, try to understand what the field is for yourself, right? You can explore a lot of again, free tutorials, free courses. You can put together your own, say, Facebook page. You can put up a blog site. Everything is free, right? So you can put up a WordPress blog site on your own, start writing. Try to understand what SEO is. Google tools are free. You can use search trends, identify keywords. Even if you want to go ahead, the next step, like spend 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees on ads, just dabble, just understand what is what. Because if by doing all of this yourself, and I very much believe in experiential learning, because even for me, right? So one reason why, I mean, in retrospect, for me, CA wasn't a thing, was I want to do things and understand rather than attending, morning to evening classes and then figuring out only during the exam or when I'm prepping that, okay, this is how it can be used in a real life scenario. I just jump into it. So even with digital marketing, when I started off, I am not from a technical background, right? I don't understand much of website. I didn't understand much of websites and everything. So for me, it was just about, okay, there's a WordPress website. I just log in. What can go wrong at the max, right? Maybe the website is down. I won't like delete a website or anything, but maybe the page gets broken or something like that, right? So play along with that, and experiential learning will get you a lot further than anything. And that will now interest you, right? Because you're not just referring to a piece of paper or a blog article and moving on to the next, versus you're able to implement it yourself. And that goes a long way.
Yeah, that's definitely a different view on the topic. So, Ved, I actually went ahead and did a little bit of research about the current job industry. How it's welcoming digital marketing experts. As of my reading, I definitely felt that there's a huge upswing and a lot of potential for jobs for freshers, especially in the year 2021. And the same trends seem to be portraying for 2023 as well. Now, I'm a numbers guy, and seeing these numbers and seeing these positive trends, definitely felt really great, because there's thousands of people who are looking for a serious career in digital marketing. It's a fantastic career. As you yourself said, that it really wouldn't take a lot of, I wouldn't say effort, but it definitely is a strain. Whenever people usually compare, whenever you talk to a person who's a coder, whenever you talk to a person who's a digital marketer, each of these domains has its own challenges. So coming back to my question, whenever we take a look at these job trends, what's your take on it? Because for me, it just looks really fascinating, and the sheer number of openings and the difference that exists, between the demand and supply gap, seems to tell me that there's thousands of job openings on the horizon. So what's your take on this, Ved?
Yep, rightly said, Anu. There is actually that gap that we, on a day-to-day basis, try to figure out creative ways. How do we come up with a solution, even for our own hiring needs, right? Where even at the moment, as we speak, we're looking at 4 to 5 different roles at the company, right? But we've been trying to hire people from the past 2, 3 weeks, where we've gone through hundreds of candidates, but we still see that there is a gap. Yes, there is interest. There is interest that I want to be a digital marketer, I want to be a social media marketer, content writer, and everything. But the gap that we see is, of course, going back to the traditional chicken egg problem of, jobs are looking at me having experience, but if I don't have a job, where do I get the experience? But I think digital marketing actually has an answer to that, considering that you actually don't need a job to showcase what your skill set is. And that's where I say, just start putting up a website, putting up your own Facebook page, running an ad campaign. You don't need a job to do that. I'm pretty sure each one of us here on this session would have something of their interest, right? So for example, how I started out was, even I had the same problem, right? So for me to say even start out as an intern, even on internships, I was asked the question, so do you have any work to show for, be it you being a designer or anything? So for me, content was something that I understood was my forte. So what I did was I took content, my interest, I'm into rap and hip hop music. So what I did was I put up a blog page, quick blog page. Uh, I called it Vibe Weekly. So the whole idea was every week I sort of put together top 10 songs of that week release or anything and just write down reviews. So I did about 3, 4 blog articles, then of course got the internship and then never came back to it. But the idea being you can start. I didn't wait for, okay, only after I get an internship, I can build my portfolio versus everything is there for me. I have a laptop, I have an internet connection. That's all I need to start.
Yeah, that's definitely a nice thing to hear about the domain itself. Now, to add on to the question itself, especially if you're taking a look from the perspective of college-going students, who are yet to graduate, be it a technical degree or a non-technical degree, how much of an effort do you think is required for them to probably complete their graduation as well and have high interests and build a very good portfolio in the industry of digital marketing?
Yes, so the effort wise, I think that's where when you are dabbling with, say, your college work or another mainstream thing versus you're trying to build a career in digital. So that's where the interest sort of peaks, right? It's fresh. Digital is something that's new. So you would have your interests high. So you would definitely find yourself being very much interested to learn it in the initial phase. So I would say take advantage of that period, right? Where say you finish your college, you get back home at maybe 5, 6, 7. Maybe you look at, okay, every 1 hour I spend it to digital. I bet once you start doing this, you will spend more than an hour. You'll spend maybe 2 hours, 1.5, 3 hours into it because that interest is sort of fresh. So that way, there's not a lot of effort that would be involved, considering the resources also which are available, and it's pretty much doable once you have one. As you said in this example, you are a college going student, so that being the mainstream thing, there's not a lot of effort which would be involved for you picking up on digital marketing.
So, right way, those were some really good insights about that particular question that I had. Now, I do have another train of thought here. For example, if there's a person who's maybe been in the world of tech, in the world of finance, or anything apart from digital marketing for a lot of years, maybe 5, 10, 15 years, and he or she looks to switch into the world of digital marketing, do you think that the trend is changing in a way where it might make it a little difficult for people with maybe 15, 20 years of experience on a very different domain to align themselves to the requirement here? So what's your take on all of our viewers who who might have a lot of experience in certain domains and they're looking to
That's
switch?
definitely an interesting question. So that's why I would say fundamentally, digital marketing is about one, as I said, data. That's basically your numbers and understanding things logically. And the next part of it is the main part where you understand people, right? So at the end, yes, you have all your data pointing at one thing, but you have your instincts that also give you a notion that, okay, I'm talking to people at the end of the day through a digital medium. So that's where, say, let's take a domain of, as you said, people who have, say, 10, 15 years of experience in finance. I wouldn't say tech because tech would be a little more easy for me to connect. So let's take finance, right? So I see that, again, you would be, I presume, you would be a numbers guy or you would be adept with, what the current industry happenings are in finance. So there is a definite need for that. There is a need for people who are having specific interests or specific skill set in an industry. Say, for example, we are always on the lookout for technical writers. We have major clients in finance, edtech, and healthcare. Say, similarly in finance and health tech, we want technical content writers, right? So that way, coming about such people is hard because as a content writer, you're just given different industries every day, and you won't be able to provide thought leadership content. Whereas a person coming in with 10, 15 years of experience, you know the domain in and out, and this is a new addition to your domain, is, I would say, that's how you can approach it. Don't think that you're new to digital marketing or the entire industry. Think that you're new for this medium. You still have a lot of knowledge from finance, from tech, that you can leverage here.
I'm sure that a lot of the people who are very curious about the same fact as I was, have a good amount of takeaway from your answer. So thank you so much for that, Ved. Now to ask you another question, when we're talking about digital marketing as a career, I'm sure that there are fantastic tools to use in the world of digital marketing. So for a fresher, for a person who's willing to get started with the domain of digital marketing itself, what tools would you suggest that they use?
So yes, tools are a marketer's best friend. So there are tools for different segments. Again, top of my head, say if it is SEO, you can use SEMrush. Uber Suggest is really good. Spyfo. These are, again, I'm naming tools which have a free version as well as a paid version. So you can definitely get started with the free version. If it's for social media, you have Canva, you have Ninja Analytics to look at the analytics. Facebook, Instagram, all these platforms have their own analytics tool, ad consoles. So they are free. A lot of Chrome extensions that you need to have, like Alexa website traffic. So that gives you a very good insight on how popular a website is. So that is one thing. And I mean, that's one thing. Grammarly, I would advise a lot of people have that. Even if your content is top notch, it can make or break any email, any resume that you put together. So Grammarly is a Chrome extension that I make it mandatory for everyone and anyone to have it.
All right, wait, that is a fantastic answer. Now, I'm sure our users can weigh in on the tools and take a look at the things that they think that would interest them based on the subdomains, as you yourself mentioned, be it social media marketing, be it content writing. So once they align themselves towards the subdomain in digital marketing, I think they'll have a really clear picture about the tools that they have to pick. All right, Ved. So coming to the last question on this wonderful discussion about digital marketing, what are some of the most important, advices, tips, or what is it that you can tell us as a digital marketing expert and as a person who's the co-founder of a fantastic digital marketing firm as well? So, what is it that you can convey to all of our dear learners here at Great Learning?
So I think the number one advice that I would give anyone is just start. So again, Nike said it best. So just do it, because again, digital is a field that is literally giving you everything, right? So it's up to you to make the best of it. As I said, you say you're applying for a job, applying for an internship, right? So instead of just handing out a resume, you can even have projects on your own that you can showcase. And being an employer, I would definitely be more inclined towards that profile where that shows a lot of your typical, it checks a lot of your typical interview questions, right? You being proactive, you being a self learner and everything, right? So showing it is better than just saying it in the interview. And that will get you a long way in your journey of digital marketing. And even if you don't pick it up as a career, I think definitely explore it. As I said, it makes you a smart consumer. So you even looking at a 10-minute, 15-minute digital marketing video, don't consider it a waste, but it adds definitely some value to your life. So the next time you see an ad, a simple thing, right? So on Facebook, you would keep seeing ads. Same example that we went for. We are talking about mobile phones. I see an ad on Facebook. So what you can do the next time that you see on the right top, you'll have three dots. Click on it, and you'll have a pop-up that says that gives you an option. Why am I seeing this ad? So clicking on that will actually tell you what category of user you fall under from the advertiser's point of view. So it will showcase that this advertiser is intending to show the ad for such and such age group in such and such location. So if you see, that's an interesting thing for me as a consumer already. So that's my advice. So just start, find your passion in digital marketing and put together your work. You'll enjoy it. Even say being a digital marketer, right? So here at the company, we have different opportunities where, okay, you're a content writer. You don't just need to work on client projects. We have our own projects where we just want to put out content for the fun of it. We enjoy content. We enjoy ads. We enjoy analyzing things. So what we do is, because we have the specific industries of healthcare, finance, and edtech, and all of these, we put together the data just for ourselves, just to understand and say, okay, this is the trend of the industry itself. And it's a very interesting field. So I would definitely advise just start and you will pick your pace as you go on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with Jagdish, proficient digital marketing expert and a person who owns his own company. So I hope all of you all who are a part of this video, who are watching this video, took away a good amount of insight, a good amount of detail from the expert himself. So I hope this session adds a lot of value for all of our viewers live. So Ved, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for spending time with us and giving us really, really important insights for all our dear viewers.
Thank you, Anirudh. Thank you, everyone at Great Learning, for giving me this time to just share my 4 or 5 years of journey in the industry. So I'm still learning every day, and thank you again for the opportunity.
I want to introduce you to Great Learning Academy. This is a free initiative by Great Learning where you can have access to over 200 plus courses with 1000 plus hours of free content on all of the trending high demand domains, absolutely free. Register now to complete the course and get your free certificate of completion as well. Check out the link in the description box of the video below for more details. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I want to request you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. This is done to make sure you do not miss out on any of the new updates or video releases from Great Learning. And of course, guys, if you enjoy this video, show us some love and do like this video. Knowledge increases by sharing, right? So make sure you share this video with your friends, colleague, and everyone who can make use of it. And at the end of it, make sure to comment on the video if you have any queries or any suggestions, and I'll be more than happy to respond to all of your comments.